pictures first then? Well, good evening, everyone. I'm Bob Bales, and I think Ryan said that he had the honor of making the last presentation. That was for the individuals, and I had the honor of making the last presentation with the team. And Ron, I guess if you told me I have until 2:30, we got lots of time for that. You know, one of the things that's really fun about this night, and I think it's fun for the members of the board, and I hope it's been fun for every one of you. I know it's fun for the inductees. I hope it's been fun for the family and the friends of the inductees. But it's a little bit extra special, I think, for the teams that get inducted. Because, and especially this case, it gives them an opportunity to get together, and some of these people haven't been together in a long, long time. This year, I have the very distinct pleasure, honor. I can't think of a word that is probably fitting for how proud I am to be able to be the person that's presenting this for this team this year. For the Stringers women's softball team. The Stringers played in Port Huron from 1977 till 1983. I had to laugh. I think when Jim Ladensack was up mentioning some of the guys that played, I'm sitting there thinking, well, geez, I knew Clef Frizzle, I knew these guys, I knew McCauley, I played against all those guys. And I heard somebody from the Stringers say, well, gee, I didn't know who those people were, but they were famous. The Stringers came after my time and after some of the other times too. But these women, many of them haven't been together since 1983. That's 40 years. And they've come from, Carol, as far away as? Florida?
Yeah, North Carolina, Marysville.
So it's been great, you know, for them to have this chance to get together, okay, and have a reason like this together. Now they did a little bit of celebrating yesterday, and I was really pleased to hear about that. And I got a telephone call from Carol this morning, and the first thing I said, well, how did yesterday go? Was it fun? You know, were you able to catch up with everybody? And she says, yeah, and it was really fun, and we had jackets that we were wearing, and I don't know if anybody saw them, but there's a bunch of them that had their own jackets on from the Stringers days. They were getting their pictures taken at the very back. And she was telling me all that, and then she got quiet, and she said, but Bob, I probably ought to tell you that they took me out of there in an ambulance. And I said, oh, what? She no, I know it too well to do that. I was scared to death that Carol wasn't going to be able to be here tonight, because unlike most of the other presenters, I never met the Stringer players. Carol was my only real contact, okay, with the Stringers since the induction process all started. And I've met a lot of them tonight, and I really went out of my way trying to make sure that I got a chance to, because when you get to know the Stringers and you listen to what they accomplished, you're going to ask the question, why has it taken 40 years for this team to be inducted? And the answer has a lot to do with what Ryan said a few minutes ago, which was said a couple of different times, is get those nominations in on a timely basis. Because believe me, this team deserves to be inducted in the Hall of Fame. In the years that they competed together, they won 4 Michigan State championships. 2 of them were back-to-back in 1979 and 1980. Carol and I's standard joke is that I probably know these statistics as well as, or it was better than she does by this stage of the game. And what was really amazing, in each of those championship runs, they were undefeated. So in each year that they won the championship, they never lost a game. The team went on to play as a state representative in the Nationals on several different occasions. And when you play in the Nationals, okay, you're playing against the best of the best. And in women's softball, the rules have changed a little bit over the years, but when these gals were competing, they were competing against, in most cases, what I would consider to be stacked all-star teams. For example, the armed services would field one team, okay, but they would have picked the best players from the Army, the best players from the Navy, etc., and they'd all be on the same team. And here they're competing against a bunch of local girls from the Blue Water area. And these girls, okay, in that national championship, finished as high as 19th. Okay, what an amazing, amazing feat. Now, they competed in the Port Huron Competitive Sports Association for 6 years. And they won their league championship in each of those 6 years. So that's what enabled them to go on and play for the state championship. Playing for the state championship is a big deal, okay, but here's the bigger deal. Their one-loss record during that 6-year period was 120 wins against 2 losses. And I'm looking for another round of applause when I say, during that streak, they had, their winning streak was 87 games. Now, I'm unaware of any other area women's team. I think that there have only been 3 others that have ever been inducted in the Hall of Fame that have ever posted a record like this. And in my mind, when I see these statistics and I think about them, they're generational statistics, and we may never ever see them again. And they were happening at a time when I think that women's softball was really at its peak. Okay, particularly, well, I'm particularly here in Port Huron. Port Huron's got a long history of softball success, and not only is this team deserving of induction in the Hall of Fame, but I think the Stringers, this team's name also is worthy of mentioning in the same breath with some of the most outstanding teams that ever played. Schaffner's, Little Caesars, Sequoia Flyers, the Pollock Jowett team, they were all Michigan State championships. The Stallions, okay, you guys were all great. Wonderful. But the women you're about to meet, I think, could go down or could be one of the best women's softball teams, if not just plain softball teams, that's ever competed or ever been inducted into the Port Huron Sports Hall of Fame. So the Stringers induction's long overdue. I don't want to take any more time, so I want to welcome Carol DeLacy to the podium. Carol was the co-manager with Milt Stringer, who was the team's sponsor and heart and soul of the team, and she's going to introduce the women who I have learned and that she refers to affectionately as my girls. So, Carol DeLacy.
Hey, you know, I left home tonight, a 76-year-old woman that thought the highlight of my night tonight was going to be that my girls and I were going to be inducted into the Port Huron Sports Hall of Fame. Little did I know that my highlight was going to be I was going to be the only woman to hold this microphone. Yeah, so I do want to thank all of you for coming out tonight. I do know at this moment that LSU and Alabama are playing, and if I wasn't here, I would be watching that football game. So thank you for coming tonight to honor the other inductees and to honor my team, and certainly I'm grateful for taking time out of your Saturday evening to be here tonight. And I also want to thank Bob Bales for his kind words and also for his very thorough summation of our 6-year history. If you know Bob Bales, he is above all else thorough, and over the last couple months, Bob has gone from someone I didn't know to one of my best friends, and so I'm thankful for Bob and just all of the input work he did on behalf of my team. It has been 40 years, 2 months, and 3 days since the Stringer team stepped off the field in Elk Grove Park, California, as a part of the 1983 Class A Women's National Tournament, and we had been just defeated by the girls from Anchorage, Alaska. We lost 8-7, a really good game. We just came up a little short, and didn't really know at that moment that that would be the last time that Stringers would put a team on the field. And here we are tonight, now 40 years, 2 months, and 3 days later, and the girls are being inducted into the Fort Young Sports Hall of Fame. And what an exciting night and a privilege for us. And I too, when I received the call after so many years, just didn't expect that it would happen, and just very exciting for Milton Thelma's team for this to happen. I do want to say on behalf of Milton Thelma Stringer, who were the sponsors of our team, and all of my players, just thank you to the Hall of Fame, to the Board of Directors, and to the Selection Committee, and to all those who had any part in our being inducted this year. We are incredibly grateful, and I do know that there are many fine athletes in this town. I enjoy sports, have always watched and participated in sports and across the spectrum of sports in this town. So many teams and people are deserving, but we certainly, as others have said, are humbled to be recognized in this very special way tonight, and certainly will be memorable for us. We're already having a great time just conversing about it. It's one of those things where you have a hard time believing in the moment that this is you that's being into the local Sports Hall of Fame, but what a privilege. I do want to say just congratulations to my girls. They're sitting over in there in that area. The girls that are here tonight really are just a representative of all the girls that wore the Stringer uniform. Light blue, dark blue, white, with stringers across the front, and many fine players. We had just an abundance of very talented girls that wore that uniform and played for us those 6 years. But these girls sitting here tonight do represent the best of the best. I could put them out on the 18th green right now, hold infield practice, and they could whip that baller. Yes, but I do too. Yeah, so thank you. I know I speak on behalf of my players when I say tonight our only regret about this evening is that Milton Thelma Stringer are not here to celebrate this with us. In the 40 years since we stopped playing, Milton Thelma both passed away, but I do know that if they were here tonight, they would be the most excited. Milt would be over the moon. Would he not, girls? He would just be over the moon with excitement that his team was being recognized in this way. Milt was not only a sponsor, he was a very vital part of our team. He was a co-manager, he was our first base coach, and Milt batted our infield, whether it was at practice or during the game situation. He always batted infield. He wanted to be a part of his team, and when we would play tournament games especially, Milt would take the girls to the infield and do infield practice. I'm not boasting, but our girls were good, to the point that the team that we were playing sometimes would stop their preparation of practice along the sidelines and watch our girls take infield and line grounders. They were just fun to watch. They were so good, and Milt, that was his special little part of the team. He just enjoyed batting that infield practice. I tried to think of what areas to cover tonight, because Bob kept telling me I had to watch the time. But in the mid-70s, when Milton Thelma decided to sponsor a team, Debbie Rabideau was working for them, and they were coming to Port Huron to watch girls softball, to watch Debbie play, and Milt wanted to sponsor a team, and so Debbie called me, and I met Milt, and he said that he and Thelma would like to sponsor a women's softball team, and he said, we'd like the team to be the best players we can find, want to compete at the highest level we can, but he said the most important thing to Thelma and to me is that the girls you find will be wearing my last name and Thelma's last name on their uniform and on their jacket. And he said, we want them to be players of character. And I thought, well, that's kind of hard to select, but we made it our mission for the next 6 years to go around the area, to watch the high school players and to watch how they interacted with their teammates, with the opposing, with the umpires, with the coaches. And I tried to make my best selections just on what I saw in their personalities and their play on the field. And over the years, we put together what we thought was, in 1983, the best team that we had put on the field. I read a quote once from John Wooden, the legendary coach of the UCLA Bruins men's basketball team. And John Wooden said, to win once, you have to have extraordinary players. But to repeat, you have to have extraordinary players of character. We won once, but we repeated. And I think it was because we were blessed to have players of extraordinary character. They were just good people, quality people who represented themselves, represented Milton Thelma Stringer, represented Fort Huron outside of this city with a lot of class and a lot of character. The initial team, when we put together the team, the nucleus of the team, were 4 girls that we pulled out of the Fort Huron Fast Pitch League, and those four girls were Debbie Rabideau, Lynn O'Dell, and Helene Schultz came to us from Fort Huron Northern. We robbed them from the high school team. And then Linda Penzine, Debbie Rabideau, help me out, girls. Judy Barrett, sorry Judy, yes. And then from there, we just selected players that would complement those that were positionally what we were looking for, and put together a team that went on to do incredibly extraordinary things in 6 years. I really believe it was a team on a mission. We believed in each other. We believed we could win, and we thought every time we walked on the field, we would win. So it's my pleasure tonight to introduce to you the girls representing the Stringer team to be inducted into the Hall of Fame this year. Just going to tell you the position that they played for us and their names. So first base, Judy Lesworth Barrett. Catcher, you're supposed to come through here, Judy, I guess. So, catcher, outfield, Marie Mouse Belkowitz. Shortstop, Nancy Fedorenchuk. They're good at softball, but they're not as good at lining up. Outfield, Doreen Grote. Second base and outfield, and not able to be with us tonight because of a work conflict, is Tina Hanzik-Broski. Shortstop and second base, Terry Davy Harrison. Pitcher and catcher, Beth Hicks Redford. I don't have to, Beth is very humble, and she's in the background person, but as you can see, sorry, Beth. As you can see, since we stopped playing softball, Beth had an accident, a work accident, and she was the athletic director at a high school in Grand Rapids, and she fell from a second floor to a concrete floor below and was paralyzed from the waist down. But just to show you the kind of people, Beth exemplifies what we looked for in our players. And she didn't play tennis before her injury, and she took up tennis. And as of last month, Beth is the #1 ranked tennis player in the United States in Class C wheelchair tennis. Pitcher, catcher, Debbie Ledford Rabideau. First base, outfield, and home with the flu tonight, Lisa Marcero. Second base, Nancy Morrison Magel. Shortstop, Nancy Neaton Pfeiffer. Third base, Lynn Odell. Left center field, Linda Penzine. And here's another one of our shining stories. Linda Albert, we call her Linda Penzine, had a malignant brain tumor removed just a few weeks ago, but wanted to be here tonight. And she is recovering, has had some radiation treatment, and is in recovery. We have some incredible quality people on this team who are just meant to succeed, and just. Left field, Helene Schultz Pillsbury. Right field, Robin Stewart Sims. And last but never least, shortstop, second base, and any place else on the field that we needed her to play, Marcia Welser Hall. And I would just like to thank, I just want to be quick, all of the umpires. Jim is here tonight, but the umpires that did such a great job for us for those 6 years. Appreciate so much that we were always treated fairly. Also for those who prepared the fields for us, as we all know, we enjoy playing in Port Huron because of the quality of our fields. And for Terry Ruff, I don't know if Terry's here, but I so enjoyed and appreciated working with Terry and how well he led competitive sports for us. And then my nephew Doug Redford here tonight. He was our scorekeeper, and boy, what an invaluable piece of our puzzle. Doug would chart every player on the other team and where they hit and where they batted and what they ate for lunch, and just kept track of everything so we could be well prepared to defend and defense the best we could the next time we saw them. I'm grateful for all of those who were fans that followed us wherever we played. Milton Thelma flew us to Texas for the Nationals one year. They flew us to California for the Nationals one year. Just had so many good fans that traveled with us, and I think more of them would be here tonight, but it's too late. They're too old and they're already in bed. So, but just to my team, to you girls, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for letting me ride on your backs into the Port Huron Sports Hall of Fame. You were the girls who made the plays, you got the hits, you won the games, you compiled the records and the statistics, and I'm grateful to have been a part of a team with you, and I'm thankful for you, and just proud to have worn the Stringer uniform with you girls. So congratulations. If Milt was here tonight, he would say, way to go, gals.